Welcome back to another episode of the Canon on the Boom and Bust channel. I'm your host Terry, and today recapping the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer number 2, the long-awaited, anticipated, and now highly debated second trailer for the upcoming Spider-Man movie that has Spider-Man meeting up with Doctor Strange and then breaking the reality of the multiverse and having a crossover with former Sony properties. Man, look, we got to get right to it. I initially was very let down that they didn't have Toby or Andrew in it. Mostly I was let down because I still felt, maybe even a little more so, that they were in this movie after watching the trailer. So I was like, okay, so it feels like they're in this movie, and why don't you just show us? So that was a little annoying because it was just like, let's end the charade. As my new favorite TV character Bob Kelso say to the Muffin, let's end the charade. Because we know what it is. So it was annoying more than anything. But the more, well, I won't even say the more, but after seeing everybody kind of break it down and show all these different things and all these hints, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, they definitely in it. They definitely in it. And so I don't know what's going to happen. There seems to be a number of people in the media world that are anticipating a third trailer on November 29th. Now, that might make sense because I did find it kind of weird that they didn't announce that tickets were on sale after this trailer. Or they said that it was going to be the 29th. And they kept calling it Spidey Day. And so, or Spidey Monday or whatever. And so, I guess I don't understand why you would have it called Spidey Monday and do all that if you weren't going to do something like specific. And so tickets going on sale, that, I don't know, to me that's just not big enough. And so I kind of dig this idea that there's going to be a final trailer. Typically there is a final trailer. Now, are they 2 weeks apart or less than 2 weeks apart? Typically no, but I like that they're trying to keep it as close as they can to the movie actually coming out before they like tell what's going on. And so, I don't know. I like that, but I do hope that in this next and final trailer that they finally show us. Cause why are we doing this? And yeah, we got a number of people who have pointed out, not only in the Brazilian trailer, but also in the American trailer, just a couple glimpses, a couple, frames where you see some weird stuff. Now, I thought when I saw it the very first time, when they had the shot with Spider-Man swinging towards the villains, I just thought that was weird. I was like, why would he run at all three villains? And not even that, just like the angles don't make sense. The way they're jumping at him, I don't know. It didn't make sense. I was like, it's a very, like, it's a cool looking shot, but it doesn't quite make sense. And so once people saw the Brazilian trailer and they slowed it down and you saw that, hey, it looks like this person gets hit. And so I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. And when you you watch the videos, it's very clear that Lizard gets hit by something that had to be edited out. And not only that, if you watch the American version, you see they cut away right before that part. So obviously, this wasn't like, oh, he got hit in the Brazilian trailer, but not an American one. It's in both shots. They just cut away from it and didn't cut away from it in the Brazilian one. And then there's another shot when Ned and MJ are on like the scaffold or whatever. there's like there's like an arm. There's like a clear Spider-Man arm, and the rest of the body is like digitally erased. And so it looks like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man costume. Now, at the same time, because I didn't look at it myself, at the same time, that could just be some Photoshop that somebody did and then put out, but I'm not sure. So either way, it just really feels weird to say, hey, we're bringing back these villains from the other two franchises, but we're not going to do anything with the other Spider-Man. That just makes no sense. Not even that, but then the way the story is written, as we understand it, Dr. Ock says to Peter, or to our Peter, that you're not Peter Parker. So he doesn't recognize him as Peter Parker. It's not like, oh, we came from a universe and now they all see like, oh, our Peter Parker is the same as Tom Holland. No, there's a direct reference to my Peter is Tobey Maguire, and the other people are probably like, my Peter is Andrew Garfield. Obviously not literally, but their worlds are the worlds from the movie, which means that Spider-Mans do exist. Why would you bring this crossover if you're not going to touch on that? It makes no sense. So there's that. I believe they're in it. There's a good amount of people that, or not people, but of the insiders that believe we'll see them in another trailer coming out soon. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But even if they don't show them in a trailer, they're going to be in the movie. I am 95% locked in on that. I just don't see how they would not be in the movie. Not to mention how he's going to fight all of them at the end. I do think Venom is a possibility to show up. That's one thing I will say, because a lot of people was like, Andrew Garfield confirmed because Lizard got punched. No, that doesn't exactly mean that's Andrew Garfield per se. I do think that it can be Venom as well, could be edited out. If you saw the end credit scene, you know how that works out. So there's a lot of possibilities though. And then the big tease that people were talking about, where Doctor Strange says, you know, I can't stop them or whatever, they're coming in. That's a point where we are pretty much expecting a lot of crazy stuff could happen. We are not sure what is going to happen, but there's some people just like, oh, that can't happen. I'm sure 2 years ago we would have said William Dafoe's Green Goblin wasn't going to pop up from the 2000 Spider-Man. And so obviously there's a lot that could happen here. And I really don't know who's all going to be in this, because I don't know. At some point, this went from like, oh, that's kind of a crazy cool idea if they brought people in, and we heard the rumors. And then we got confirmation. Yeah, Jamie Foxx is in this. Yes, Alfred Molina's in this. Yes, they're playing the characters from the other movies. So then at that point, it's like, okay, that is absolutely nuts. Like, what else could happen? What are we talking about? We talking about a movie I saw when I don't even remember what grade I was in, like 4th, 3rd grade or something. I saw Spider-Man. And so now those villains are coming back after all these years. So why would anything else be crazy? And so I got the I got the trailer playing in the background, slow motion. I definitely saw that arm. On the half edited out Spider-Man. But anyway, so a lot of stuff could happen. And I think a lot of it is a possibility, in my personal opinion. So the story, let's just get away from the Andrew Garfield part, because I do think if they come in, they're not a big part of the movie. Like, you could clearly see there's going to be a good chunk in the beginning with Doctor Strange, and then it's going to go to Dr. Ock, and the three are going to have to go around and figure out what's happening with the villains. And then there's going to be a big conclusion at the end. I think that's when they come in. So I don't think they're going to have more than 7 minutes of screen time, if that. I do think they're just going to come in to help with the fight. Because honestly, if they were like a big part of the movie, it would have been really hard to hide that. Like them to come in and do a fight, especially with most of it CGI at the end, it's like 5 minutes. I think that's fairly easy to film, in my opinion. So I don't think it's going to be that much, even if they are in it. But I do think they're in it. So the story, as I was saying, seems to be more centered around Doctor Strange and Peter Parker. Now, this is the thing I don't understand, and I'm waiting to see, is why does Doctor Strange do this? That's the part I really just don't understand. And this second trailer has not given us anything else to really help that, because the fact is that Peter Parker could very easily prove his innocence. Very easily. In the world of the MCU, it would be very easy to prove his innocence. You got Skrulls that could pop up as Peter Parker in another place. You got, obviously, any of the live Avengers could vouch for him. Anybody in S.H.I.E.L.D. You got all types of ways to vouch for Peter Parker. And so, even if, because obviously he's not in jail or anything, so even if he doesn't go to jail, and he just, life sucks being such in the public eye, so much in the public eye, or it's affecting the way people are treating my friends and family. Like, even if that's the case, I just don't see Doctor Strange erasing the memory of everybody in the world just to help out Peter Parker. I just don't see it. I don't see it. It makes no sense to me. So that is the part I'm looking forward to finding out. But the rest of it is pretty clear. The spell goes wrong. Peter does something. Obviously, I don't know if they use a hair or what, but it's something that is specific to Peter Parker. That's why villains from other Spider-Man properties are coming and not, the DC universe or something. So it's pretty obvious, again, that's specific to him, but it goes wrong. Now they had an encounter. Looks like Doc Ock finds out, oh, you're not my Peter. I don't know if they capture him or if he goes willingly. But at first I thought he was going to be done pretty early. But then you see a scene where he's like blown out of a building by the lightning. So it looks like he's around for the later fight as well. And it does seem like he's going to be on Spider-Man's side. And so we'll see how that goes. The one part that's weird to me, though, is Doc Ock kind of sacrificed himself. So why is he coming out bloodthirsty for Peter? And the other thing, though, is this the same one from the movie? Or is it a variant? Because he has some differences. Obviously, the tentacles are different. And that's through, I've seen some people talking about absorbing nanotech. His tentacles were different from the beginning shot. And he's got, that red tentacles. Obviously, he's dressed a little bit different. Obviously, Electro is completely different. We see the same suit with the Green Goblin. And then we see another Goblin, which I thought was Dane DeHaan Hobgoblin, but as you zoom up closer, it really does look like William Dafoe. So I don't know. Are we going to get variants? And I do think there's a possibility we get multiple versions of these people. I don't know if we get another Doc Ock, but I do think we're going to get multiple versions of what's his name? The Green Goblin. Also, Sandman wasn't trying to kill Peter in that movie. In Spider-Man 3, by the end of it, he turned. And so Sandman being that way. So I think these are variants. Obviously, the Lizard knows who Peter Parker is, wasn't trying to kill him. So I think these are variants of some sort. And so now I'm wondering, like, again, is Doc Ock also a variant? And I know they say he gets pulled right from that moment where he dies in the movie, but he could have been, it could have been the same moment in a slightly different universe, if that makes sense. And so I don't know, man, because then you talk about time, because that's the problem. Also, you talk about time travel. A couple of these people are dead. So even if the universe is breached, that wouldn't mean that they breach at a different time. You know what I mean? Wouldn't it be present day? And so now you're talking about a time element, which makes me think these are slightly different variants rather than like the exact person from that movie. And obviously in their universe, his Peter Parker still is Toby. And then the other ones, their Peter Parker is Andrew Garfield. And so we'll kind of see. I don't know. It's a lot to think about. But whatever this box is seems to be central. You see it throughout the whole entire trailer, even at the end fight. And so Doctor Strange and Peter duke it out after disagreeing about how to clean up the mess. I'm not sure what that box does, if it just traps them in there, if it kills them or what. But Doctor Strange said they're a threat to our universe, so we got to take them out. And Spider-Man seems like he doesn't want to do that. Not to mention, like I said, he has the box at the end fight. So I don't know if he successfully got it from Doctor Strange or if Doctor Strange gave it to him later. I don't know. A lot of questions. And then the black suit Spider-Man. Here's my thought. And there's one scene, there is a scene where it looks like Electro is trying to hit him. But then there's also that scene where it seems like he's standing there and then behind him is Electro like charging up. To me, it seems like he was like protecting Electro, like watching over him or something. I don't know. I could have that completely wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. And so I mean, in general, I don't think that that's Tom Holland, or at least not our version. It might be an alternative version of him that's more of like an evil Spidey, or it might be somebody else that's a Spider-Man from a different universe. Who knows? But at this point, and I'm not really driving up expectations, I'm just kind of thinking about speculation of what could happen. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to have like Miles Morales kind of come through, or like, you know, those kind of cards. I don't know if you could make it look cool or look right, but I don't see why they couldn't come through with the Miles Morales universe, or maybe they come through live action and that's how they show them. I'm not sure, but I just don't. I don't really see what's stopping us from seeing some really wild stuff. So it'll be interesting. The other thing I'll bring up, Spider-Man's in two different suits. I don't know. He's clearly in the Iron Spider suit when he's fighting Doc Ock. But then later when he's going against Doctor Strange and trying to get the box, he's in his regular suit. And then at the end, it looks like some type of hybrid. I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, the last thing I'll say is my prediction before the trailer. My prediction for a while has been that there's going to be something where I think either MJ dies or MJ and Ned, or Happy dies and Aunt May or MJ. I think some people are going to die, and it's going to be the reason why our Tom Holland chooses to go to the Venom universe or the Sony universe, because no mistake, Spider-Man's going to Sony. And the setup that they have right now is that this is going to set up the events, or at least the arrangement, where this Spider-Man can go over to Sony, where Venom or Morbius and everybody else kind of resides. So I do think that's what's going to happen at the end. All right, that's it for me. Go down in the comment sections. Let me know what you think about the trailer. What'd you notice? What are your speculations? Share it around, get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe. And remember, if you heard it here, it's official canon.